So the second group of tools will be the grouping and then pivoting tools. So in Outrix, if you want to group the rows together and measure each group, you can use this summarize tool here. Okay, so in here. So for example, if you want to, in this case, if I want to group by market, and then I want to count the number of rows for each market and see how, then you can see here, if I add the row in here, I had the button in here, and then I can see the numbers already. Okay, so here we go. So in here you have 70 rows in total, but then for each market you have about 10, about 5 segments and then 2 KPI. So basically you have each of the market, you will have 10 rows, and then you can see the statistic in here. Okay, so that's the grouping tool. Now if you want to select, you want to compute the KPI in here. So for example, if you want to compute the total of sale and then volume and then uh, by FY, then you can also add the column, the row in here as well. And then if you add the sum in here, basically it will give you the sum of all the month like this. Okay, so okay. So it say that in this market you have 10 rows, and the total values of the column January 23 is about 100, and this 175. Okay, but then if you see in the source here, there are sale and then the volume, so you don't want to lump the two KPI together. So normally what we do is just we split the KPI out in here. So we group by the KPI, and then you see the difference now. Okay, so it tells us that it's mm, the volume in Singapore is about 5 rows, and then the total volume in Jan is 74, but then in February is in 134. Okay, and so on. So this one is another way to use the tool, and then to sum the row, to group the rows together. Okay. Uh, Now, there is a little bit problematic if I ask you to sum all the month together. If you in Excel, actually you can just insert another column in here, and then you sum all the from drag all the way to the fund here, and then you sum. But then in Outlook, it will be very difficult if you want to do that. So instead, you have to unpivot first, and then you group. Okay, so let me show you the second branch, which is to unpivot this table. So I select the first three, the rest I will unpivot or collapse them all together, and then later I can sum. Okay, so after this, you can see the market and then the segment and then the KPI here, and then the value of the month will be summed all together. Okay, so now I use the grouping tool, I can do whatever I want. So this one, if if I if I count this thing, the name here, I will count the number of month. Okay, so this thing count a month. If I sum the value all together, and then I will have the lifetime value of the sale or the volume. So this one is the sum. I can take the mean, so the smallest value, and the max, which is the biggest value, and then I can group by market and segment and KPI as well. So I group by here, and then as well. Okay, so this one will give me more, it will be easier for me to work with the columns. Okay, so just by unpivoting two only this one. Okay, so you can see here, you have the in this market, and then in this segment you have the sale has 30 month, and then it total is like this. Okay, so if you want to focus only on the market, and then and the KPI only, then you can just duplicate this one, and you remove the segment. It will give you the another picture. Okay, so this one will remove the segment, and then in here, so you can see here, for example, the volume of Singapore market is about is 30 months in total. The total is like this, and uh, the the minimum in the lowest month, or is in the less productive month, and then you only have 29 in volume, but and then in the productive month you have about the uh, 400, almost 500 in volume. Okay, so that's how you use the grouping tool. So the second one would be the pivoting tool. So pivoting tool, you can in Outreach you can you can use this one, the cost tab tool. Actually, I want to put the value in here, and I want to compare like for like. Okay, so in here's I will see in terms of grouping, then you have more options. So in here you can group the value by you can have more function. So you have min, max, and sum, and everything else, average and everything. But then in the pivoting tool, you can do the same thing. So let me by segment. But then in the value, but then if in here you only have the sum, the average, the count, and then that's all about it. So you have like um, you have like fewer functions to sum the values compared to this grouping. So normally what I do is just I group first, and then I pivot later. So it will be the same, but then because after I group already, then the only function I need is the sum function. Okay, so let me show you the same idea, but in this case I just use the market, and then the segment in here value, and then I sum the value together. Okay, so the table would tell me that uh, the total sale and volume, basically this is a combination of sale and volume of uh, Philippines in this hyper segment is this much. So normally this one, it doesn't make sense if from the accounting and then measuring point of view, it doesn't make sense at all. But in terms of like checking or debugging, it's very useful, because if you see zero or now in here, it just means that this category and this category doesn't have any value at all. So that's an easy way to check the missing value in the box. Okay, so this one is actually similar to the correlation analysis in statistic, but then it's for the category, so instead of for the continuous value. So it's not x and y, but it's a combination of um, category in one dimension and the other dimension as well. Okay. So the second view, I need to show you to produce the same thing. I will show you the grouping first. So I will group by customer and market first, and then I sum the value all together. Actually, I can do more than sum. I can do anything in this case, but then at the end of the day, uh, I will group them. I will use a pivoting tool to produce the table here. So in this case, I have the market, and in this case, I have the segment. The sum of value will be here, and then when I sum them all together, it will give me the same table here. Okay, so this one is more flexible because if I want to take the max and the min, I also can do that as well. So let me show you the min and then the max. Okay, so instead up here using the sum of value, I can take the min and the max as well. So here, so I copy this one to this one, and then I connect them all together. And then I instead of selecting the sum here, I can select the mean of the value, and then I have two views like this. So the first view is the sum. This one is the sum, and then this one will be the mean and the sorry. I think I need to check this one again. After I copy, then it just automatically remove my. Okay, so here you go. So you have the mean in this box and this box. So in basically Philippines hyper, the mean is 25. The Thailand mega will be 59, and then Japan super will be 35. Okay, so that's how um, you uh, derive different pivot function. So in case like in a pivot, you don't see any max and min or anything at all. The trick is just use the grouping tool first, and then after you use a grouping tool already, then you can just use the sum function. So the sum function is the only thing you need in here. Okay, so if you want to union the two view or consolidate the two view, you can use a union tool, and then you just connect them all together. Okay, so this part you can guess this is the mean, and this one is a sum. So if you want to make it more explicitly, you just add the tagging here. So tag here, tag, which is a mean, and then you add another tag in here, which is a sum. So tag sum, and then later you can see explicitly the view. Okay, so there you go. So this part is the tag, this part is the mean part, and then the sum. So you can do the max in the same way, which is to duplicate this one, and then you check on the same thing. So in here you check the custom segment, and then value you change to max, and sum them all together. Sum is the only function you need in here. And then this one you change to max, and then you connect this one back to the original view like this. Okay, so you have the mean, the max, and then the sum. Okay, so alternatively, you know already, which is to unpivot this thing and then to pivot again. So let me show you the another trick, which is view consolidation also, but then you don't need to trouble yourself with a lot of thing like this. You just use the transpo here, and then you select the tool like this. Okay, and then you use the mm, use the pivoting tool with the segment like this, and then the value like this. Sum is all you need, and then done. Okay, so after this, I think I need to sort the thing a little bit by a name first, and then by customer market later. Okay, so this one it was this design is very minimal, and then it will work with your other function as well. So for example, if you want to take value in mm, the value in the average, for example, I add one more, which is the average here, and then I can add the medium, okay, or I can add the percentage or any function here, or I can add the variance. Okay, so anything in here is okay. In here, you can just check the value, more value in here, and then it will automatically bring the values into the segment in here for you. Okay, let me show you the segment. Okay, so the first segment is average, second is the max, and then the mean, and then the variant, the sum, and then the variance it will be here. So everything will bring to you in this view. But then for this approach you have to duplicate another one, and then you have to tag again. So you have to tag this like variance and then average again. This I suggest this one, which is better for and more scalable for your for your computing workflow.